Let's move into what I call the Toolbox Paradox. This is where businesses that have a variety of tools at their disposal, like global staffing when they're considering staffing, but hesitate to use them. But why? While we're focusing on global staffing, you could just as easily insert AI or automation or any other business process that people have decided not to use for some reason or another. Why do we ignore certain tools in our toolbox? It's a question that brings us to the heart of how businesses make decisions. We would like to think that it's logic, but Rory in his book talks about this idea of post-rationalization. We really make decisions emotionally and subconsciously, and then post-rationalize the decision after the fact, with logical answers such as the fear of the unknown, past experiences, perceived complexity. Studies show that our subconscious is making our decision for us up to 10 seconds before we're even aware that a decision has been made. Crazy, I know, but what does this mean? To me, it means we're not in as much control of our decisions as we think. Since we are meaning-loving beings, our mind will come in after the decision has already been made and fill in all of the logical reasons that we made the decision in the first place. So while we're thinking we're being logical, it's really emotion disguised as logic. I will give you an example that might help to illustrate this point. Let's say you took your car to the mechanic and it was making a noise, and the mechanic diagnosed the issue and tells you that it's going to take 10 hours to fix and cost around $2,000. You go back to him and say, "That's a long time. Why does it take so long?" Well, there's a tool that we could use and it would shorten the time by 5 hours. So then you'd probably ask them, "So you don't have that tool?" If they would come back to you and say, "Well, we have the tool, we just don't like to use it. It's a little heavy, sometimes it's a little hard to use, and the tool's only made in China, and we prefer to use US tools here in the shop." At this point, if your head hasn't already exploded, you'd probably just go and tell the mechanic, "I don't care how you feel," or if you think you have good reasons for not using the tool, just use it and save me the $1,000. So why is it so easy to see the absurdity in this illustration, but can be so difficult in our own situations? I think the answer is perspective. Since as the car owner, we see the decision not to use the tool as hurting us, whereas the mechanic, while he might have some good reasons, perhaps his subconscious knows that if he doesn't use the tool, it'll make him an extra $1,000. The mind is a curious thing. Rory talks about this in his book, that perhaps it's better if we don't know the exact reasons for our decisions. Perhaps it protects us in some way, but I contend it hurts us in others. As you think about your own toolbox, I encourage you to consider what tools you might be overlooking due to biases or past experiences. How can a more authentic, balanced evaluation of those tools propel your business forward? What are the techniques that we can use to help us to overcome this issue? One is reframing, and we'll talk about that a little bit later.